You know, that's not easy to do, and that's rare, so I'm not making an excuse, but the real top team in the league showed up tonight, and they're no joke. There's not by accident that they're the #1 team in the league.
If you watch this team, they're not the fastest team, but they're the most precise team. They will pick you apart. They know exactly what they want to do. They get to where they want to on the floor, and they pass the rock. They move their ball so fast. When you watch that, it's a beautiful thing, and that gets so many people involved. If you look at their stat sheets, everybody had about 12, 13 shots. And that's efficient. That's playing good team basketball. And there's no animosity. You know, their best player is injured, and you wouldn't even know it the way they played tonight because they still play great team basketball.
Yeah, great system, very unselfish style of basketball. You're talking about Donovan Mitchell, who has this sprained ankle. He's supposed to return soon for the Utah Jazz. Jordan Clarkson, we talked a lot about him in the pregame show. Kind of everyone's pegging him for Sixth Man of the Year, former Laker. He was great tonight, efficient tonight. Last game out against the Lakers, he took 27 shots. There was no Mike Conley, so he had the ball in his hands most of the time. Tonight, different story. 22 points on 9 of 14, 2 of 4 from 3. He was a problem.
Yeah, in a way, with Donovan out, he becomes Donovan, because the one thing I love about Coach Snyder, yeah, he has this very good team philosophy. Move the ball, space the floor, be patient, like Rob said, pick the defense apart. But when he needs a bucket, he allows, Clarkson to shoot 27, shots in the last game. He allows him to ISO as much as he wants to get the floater. So to me, that's a sign of, you got this great team concept, but you got a specialist here that can get it done, night after night. So this team is dangerous. I forgot about Donovan, actually, but this team is really dangerous.
Yeah, you got a lot of dangers. Look at Ingles. Ingles came out tonight. Yeah. He had 21 points.
21.
And we don't even talk about him. Think about him. 2 years ago in the playoffs, this guy was a monster. Then you get Bogdanovich, and he kind of takes a back seat. So you have these guys that can step on any given night. And tonight he stepped up. And he is so crafty, and the way he catches it, you could throw the ball here, and he's going to release it from here. Yeah. So he has an incredible release. He has an incredible IQ. He ain't the fastest guy, but he's one of the craftiest guys. Like you see right there, an awkward shot, but he gets it off, and he can really ball out for this crew.
And the other player that was out tonight, Ursula, the guy that hit the big threes in the last game. Another major threat, from behind the arc. So Rob said it, pre-game, people don't talk about Utah, but they're damn good. They really are efficient in a lot of areas. Bench, starters, specialists, defense, 3 points. They're going to be tough. Yeah. Different than we've seen in the past, I think.
Yeah, last year some injuries. On the pregame show as well, we talked about the chemistry problems last year that kind of came out, when COVID hit. Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, they lost a 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets. But Mike Conley kind of getting acclimated this year and feeling a lot more comfortable in this system. Derek Favors coming off the bench. A guy like O'Neal hits 3 threes, it seems like, every single game. But there's a reason why, when you look at the Laker team last year, this is why I bring this up, there's a reason why they have the best record in the league. Top 4 defense, top 4 offense, top 4 in three-point percentage, and they also make more threes than anybody. So you combine that big game, James, along with the great coach, system, unselfish play. That's why they have the record that they have.
Same thing when they had Stockton and Malone. They watched the Lakers win. They watched Chicago win. And they built a team that finally could compete with anybody in the league. Unfortunately, they didn't win one. Mm-hmm. This team reminds me a lot of that team. Snyder has built this team over time, added pieces, and now they're at a point now where I think they can compete with anybody. They shoot the three. They got guys that can handle the ball and ISO. They got rim protectors. But Clarkson coming off the bench he's killer.
And Rob, obviously the poor offense kind of led to some poor transition defense. They also struggled in the pick and roll as well. Points in the paint, 52-32 for the Utah Jazz.
You would never think that since we added Andre Drummond, but these guys get to the paint. We talk about, slicing you apart and being crafty and doing it, because it's not always about pick and pop and going for the three. These guys get to the rack. They play basketball the way it's supposed to be played. They score in the paint, they shoot three, they take what is given to them and they exploit that, because this team is very well coached. They're a smart team, and they're a mix of wily veterans and young athletic guys with Clarkson and O'Neal, and they do a lot of damage on not just from the three and the inside of the paint, because we know they're good from the three, but they score in the paint also.
I don't have much to add. I mean, I just, when the playoffs start, we'll see how they will perform in a 7-game series. But this is a team that you can't really make adjustments like game to game. I mean, you can try to defend them a certain way, but they don't do anything different. They do the same thing every night. You can't stop it because they got the Gobert rolling. They got the threes out there. They're extremely patient. Those guys sit out there and they just, they fill it with their nails, and before you know it, they got a shot coming to them. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can get over the playoff hump,
yes,
and succeed. That's all that's left for them to do.
The thing about Snyder, Snyder's one of those old school coaches. He's learned from Pop, he's learned from Phil, he's learned from a lot of great coaches. And the one thing about those coaches, what they have in common, they stick with their system regardless of what's going on. We're going to play it. We're going to run our system because our system got us to the best record in the league, so it should take us to an NBA championship.
Hard to get Drummond and Trez going again tonight against Gobert and some of that defense. I mean, obviously, Drummond, I think, missed a couple of shots around the basket that he usually makes, but, Trez only 4 attempts.
When you got Gobert in there, I said this at the beginning of the show that I really was interested to see how he reacts towards a guy of that size. Because if you look around, he didn't do his patented too little thing because Gobert is not too little. And you saw what Gobert went up with Trez and blocked his dunk. And so it makes a big difference when you have a rim protector like Gobert. He's not one of these rim protectors that's not going to go after, this shot because this guy's a dunker. He's going to go after everything. And that makes a big difference defensively because now once you block someone's like, Trez who dunks on everybody, it puts a little fear. Not saying that they were scared, but I'm saying it puts a little fear in going to the hole and getting your shot blocked.
You got to have some distractions against a player like that. So you can imagine we had AD, LeBron, and Drummond a little bit more for Gobert to worry about. He didn't have that much to worry about tonight. He had Drummond to worry about, not a lot of distractions, wasn't receiving a lot of picks. He didn't have to guard AD out on the perimeter, so it was a little bit easier for him. When you play against Gobert, you got to give him a lot of responsibility and throw a lot of different things at him. Tonight, he was just in his zone.
Back in the paint.
Yep.
All right, tough night for Andre Drummond, just 8 points and 8 boards. He's speaking with Mike in the media.
Hey, Andre, expected a bit of a difference in terms of just Gobert in favor of back and clogging up the paint. How did you guys see that play out, and how did you think you responded?
I think we started off really slow this game. Probably just a little bit of heavy legs from the last game being the OT. Those guys coming in fresh, so they had a lot of energy. I think for us personally, I think we can't allow ourselves to start like that because it's hard to fight back from games like that.
Yeah, what did you think as you tried to make comeback attempts throughout, Andre? What were the differences? What you guys were trying to get done offensively? This one is just talking about defense.
Shots just weren't falling for us. The shots we normally make, they were just rimming in and out. Myself especially, shots that I normally make were just going in and out of the hoop and just careless mistakes with turnovers too down the stretch of the game that allowed them to start clicking all cylinders on both ends of the court.
Hey Andre, what's up? Just wondering, when you're going through a game like this, you know there are obviously LeBron and AD are kind of waiting to potentially be in that matchup later this year. Are you already kind of thinking about what that would look like, what might be different if you see these guys again in the postseason?
Honestly, I think for me personally, I'm just worried about the guys that are playing right now. Obviously, yes, I'm looking forward to playing with those two guys when they come back healthy. But the only thing I can control right now is the guys that step on the floor as of right now, and they're doing a hell of a job of holding the floor down until they come back. Despite the game tonight, I think we're doing a hell of a job of playing well together.
Andre, you coming off probably your strongest performance as a Laker the other